To welcome you to the March 11th, 2026 meeting of the Brentwood Planning and Zoning Commission. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
All right. Our next order of business is to call the roll. Mr. Moran, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hart Nelson. Here. Mark Ravazza.
Here.
Paul Moran's here. Jack Shelton.
Here.
Sherry Bilderbeck.
Here.
Jeff Moore.
Yes.
Brian Nolan. Here. Jeff Hunt.
Here.
Lisa Shering.
Here.
Matt Foreman.
Here.
And Carl and John Herberger aren't here, but we have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. The agenda has been distributed. Are there any changes or alterations that need to be made to the agenda? If not, any objection to approval of the agenda by acclamation? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. Next item of business, the meeting minutes for our February 11th, 2026 meeting have been distributed. Are there any alterations or changes that need to be made to the minutes? Any objection to approval of the minutes by acclamation? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Next item of business is citizen comments. Are there any citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda this evening? Anyone online? All right, we'll move on to old business. Our first item is case 2601. This is a comprehensive sign plan amendment for the Veterinarian Emergency Group ER for pets at 2101 South Brentwood Boulevard. Is the petitioner or their representative here this evening? If you could please state your name or address for the record, and we'll hear a little bit about, good to see you again, and we'll hear a little bit about the updates.
Good evening. I'm John Simon with Simon Sign. I'm the sign contractor for our client Veterinary Emergency Group. We are located in downtown St. Louis on St. Louis Avenue. Essentially, our client is just doing a basic rebrand with a new logo. There are two existing building signs on the north elevation and the east elevation, as well as an existing monument sign, and we're just rebranding those with the new logo. No major changes, just going like for like. I believe the north elevation has already been approved, as well as the monument sign reface, but the east elevation is the issue where the proposed sign is slightly larger than the existing. We don't feel that it looks out of place, but nonetheless, the math isn't in our favor, so thus we are here.
And I understand that there were some requests, if I'm recalling correctly, for some some changes to the landscape. Is that, actually, we'll go to staff report, I guess. We'll do that. Ms. Kelly, please, staff report.
As the applicant has indicated, they are seeking a comprehensive sign plan. The existing north-facing sign on the building does meet with the code in that it is 44.35 square feet, where they have the frontage that allow up to a 53 square foot sign. It is on the east elevation that they are, where the frontage would not limit them to a 28.45 square foot sign, and they're asking for the same size sign. Initially, because of part of a comprehensive sign plan that requires landscaping around any ground sign, and initially there was an error where they were where they submitted that it would be adjusted, but they're now showing that it meets with the code and is just a reface of the existing. However, since they submitted for a landscape plan, we did have Planning Design Studio review it, and there are some missing landscapes from the prior approved plan. So, and we just had them look along the Brentwood Boulevard and I forgot what street that is. Pine, thank you. And along the face of the building. So a condition of approval does include that they will add back the missing landscape per the memo from the Planning Design Studio.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Any questions from the commission regarding this application? Is there a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Actually, yes, anyone from the audience wishing to address, see, there we go, I missed you. Wishing to address the commission on this application.
We don't have anyone in attendance.
Excellent, thank you. Now, is there a motion? Mr. Moran, I believe.
Yes, there is, Mr. Chair. I move to recommend approval of the comprehensive sign plan for the veterinary and emergency group at 2101 South Brentwood, subject to the conditions and discussion of this meeting.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hunt. We have a motion by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Hunt. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Favazza,
Yes.
Paul Moran's yes. Jack Shelton,
Yes.
Sherry Bilderbeck,
Yes.
Jeff Moore,
Yes.
Brian Nolan,
Yes.
Jeff Hunt,
Yes.
Lisa Shearing,
Yes.
Matt Foreman.
Yes.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Thank you, Mr. Simon. This will go to the Board of Aldermen on
April 6th, I believe.
April 6th. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Next item of business, old business, is case 26006. This is a site development plan for the new 9-unit townhome at 8815 Madge. There's been a request by the petitioner to postpone this to our April 8th meeting. Is there a motion to table this motion until that time?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Favazza. A motion by Ms. Bilderback, sorry. Second by Mr. Favazza. I think a voice vote suffices for this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we will table that to the April 8th meeting. Moving on to new business. First up, we have case 26007. This is for Encore Nails and Foot Facials, CUP, conditional use permit, at 8044 Manchester Road. Petitioner here, please, if you could, state your name, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Coates. I am a medical nail technician, and I will be servicing clients that have conditions such as diabetes or thickened toenails per se, and yeah, just servicing one person at a time.
And this will be, understand this is a use within an additional facility? Excellent.
Yes.
All right. We'll go to the staff report, please, Ms. Kelly.
Sure. Ms. Coates has submitted for a conditional use permit. She's renting an office space at 8040 Manchester Road, also addressed as 8044 Manchester Road, which is zoned MC district, and where personal services, including nail salons, are a conditional use for properties less than 1 acre. She is locating within the Convergence Dance and Body Studio, where 2/3 of the building consists of the dance studio, where they have most of their classes are in the evening, and the other third of the building is a chiropractic office and gyrokinesis and gyrotonic movement office, which is part of the medical offices. So in review of all of the parking, we did not find an issue, as there are 32 parking spaces on site, and with all of the various uses, it would require a total of 20 spaces. So we don't have any issues.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Any questions from members of the commission on this application? Any members of the public wishing to address the commission on this application? Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move to recommend approval of the conditional use permits and site development plans for Encore Nails and Foot Facials at 8044 Manchester Road, subject to the conditions and discussion of this meeting.
Motion by Mr. Moran. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bilderback. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Favazza,
Yes.
Paul Moran, yes. Jack Shelton,
Yes.
Sherry Bilderbeck,
Yes.
Jeff Moore,
Yes.
Brian Nolan, Jeff Hunt,
Yes.
Lisa Shearing,
Yes.
Matt Foreman.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Ms. Coates, that will go to the Board of Aldermen again on April 8th. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
April 6th.
6. I even wrote it down.
I'll
Thank
email.
you. We'll write it down again. Next item of business is, again, new business is 702. This is case 26008, Bonefish Grill Comp Sign Plan Amendment at 8780 Eager Road. Petitioner has requested that this also be tabled pending to the next April meeting. Is that correct? Or do we do not have a date? Motion
Don't
table?
have a date, so the applicant said that they would resubmit when the Bonefish ownership, we're ready to proceed. So just a motion to table.
Okay, table, no date. Is there a motion to table?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Moore, or motion by Mr. Moore, excuse me. Is there a second?
Second.
Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, that was me.
Sorry, Mr. Hunt. Second by Mr. Moore. All right, you guys are just too quick over there. We'll do a voice vote, please. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That is tabled. Next item of business is case 26009. This is Two Dog Fitness, limited liability company, does business as Gateway Fitness Conditional Use Permit at 824 Hanley Industrial Court. I believe the applicant or the representative is here this evening. If you could give us your name, address, and tell us a little bit about your application.
Oh, yes, Mark Widener. I'll be opening at 824 Hanley Industrial, as the gentleman said. I'm a one-on-one, two-on-one, three-on-one, four-on-one personal training studio. I've been training for the better part of 20 years. I've been open in one space or another since 2011. First of all, thank you for having me, and open for any questions you may have.
Great, thank you. We'll go to staff report, please. Ms. Kelly.
So as the applicant has indicated, they are seeking a conditional use permit. The property is on Planned Development Overlay District where there are some pre-existing nonconformities on the site, but under the Planned Development Overlay District, it includes enclosed or open recreational uses, including health clubs and fitness facilities as a conditional use. The property consists of two separate buildings that are approximately 16,300 square feet each, and they are leasing approximately 2,000 square foot space at 8024 Hanley Industrial Court. The property is addressed as 820, so this is the tenant space is 824 Hanley Industrial Court. There are a number of other uses on this site, and with all of those uses, there are other fitness facilities on the site, and with those uses, the total required parking is 64 spaces. Based on a counting of the aerial photographed, I counted 87 spaces, and then when I went to the site, I believe there was a few more parking spaces behind the building where there's loading on the south building that I counted 96. So therefore, we don't see any parking issue on this site.
Mr. Widener, one question I had for you. See that in the, there are very specific hours of operation listed with variation every single day of the week. And that part seems a little unusual to me. I have here 6 to 6 on Monday, 6
So
to
it's
7.
basically by appointment. So
Okay.
yeah, the training is by appointment.
Is there a reason you wouldn't want a consistent hours of operation, maybe because they don't seem to vary too much? And I'm just wondering to avoid confusion down the road.
For right now, I'm the only trainer, so my own sanity more than anything else. I think.
You're comfortable with this? Just wanted to ask that question. All right. Any other questions from, or any questions from members of the commission? Ms. Bilderbeck?
But what if, I mean, you're the only trainer now, but what if that changes in the future? Then you have to come back if we include this in the plan for different hours of operation?
It does allow the director to alter the hours, so it wouldn't have to come back to us, but I was just saying if you wanted to go to, I think the latest is to 7 PM. Why not make them all 7 PM?
I honestly, as far as the latest will be 7 p.m. I've been in the industry for quite some time, and most trainers don't want to work past that, especially after being on site at 6 a.m. So.
Ms. Kelly, is there a particular reason why the city would have a problem with that, or is it? Okay. Sorry, just caught my attention.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I did include that staff would be able to approve additional hours, say if they wanted to stay open on a Saturday, later on a Saturday
Right.
or Sunday, or start at 5:30 in the morning. We could do that without them having to come back.
And I think the flexibility makes a ton of sense. Sorry, Ms. Bilderbeck, this is your motion, sorry.
No, I mean, that was it, really.
And I just, rather than having to come back for anyone, I think that it might make sense to have that, but obviously that's your preference. All right, any other questions from members of the commission? Any questions from members of the public? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I
Ms. Bilderbeck.
move to approve this and recommend it to the Board of Aldermen as submitted with the conditions outlined in the staff report.
We have a motion, is there a second? Second by Mr. Nolan. Motion and second, roll call vote, please.
Mark Favazza. Paul Moran, yes. Jack Shelton.
Yes.
Sherry Bilderbeck.
Yes.
Jeff Moore.
Yes.
Brian Nolan.
Yes.
Jeff Hunt.
Yes.
Lisa Shearing.
Yes.
Matt Foreman.
Yes.
It's unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Mr. Whitener, welcome to Brentwood, and again, April 6th to the Board of Aldermen.
Thank you so much.
All right, next item of business, some text amendments, Ms. Kelly, about fun things. First is case 26010. This is text amendment regarding data centers and establishing regulations for such uses in our 2 square miles of Brentwood. I'm interested in this. Please, staff report.
Yes, so because there's been recent discussion throughout the region regarding data centers and their preponderance of using significant amount of water and electricity, we wanted to go ahead and get ahead of this. While we will likely not see the larger data centers that take up 400 acres, we could see for some of the mid-range. So therefore, we made it as a conditional use only in the light industrial district. And we've included specific requirements under the supplemental regulations for that. We did allow as permitted uses those data centers that are within an individual, less than 10% of an individual office and only part used for that office. You know, like we have our own, server here in the building, so.
A bank, that's right.
Yeah, those are less, and they're not sold out to a third party. Those can be approved anywhere as part of the permitted use or a conditional use, depending on the use. It's only this freestanding, larger data centers that we're looking to have as the conditional use in the light industrial district.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. One question I had, water use you mentioned, the other is obviously significant power use. Is there any need to have anything in here, and I don't recall seeing, if it is, please correct me, on power lines, right? This is a thing where you're not going to have buried power lines for these. They'd be big overhead power lines. I'm not sure if that would be something that would be dealt with in the construction, in the building permit rather than here.
That would probably be
Okay.
dealt with as part of the building permit, and site development plan approval as part of a conditional use permit. We do have a requirement of if they have backup generators and lighting under the supplemental regulations and sound study standards that they would have to comply with the city's regulations.
Good call. Great. Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Other questions from members of the commission?
What is the current treatment of data centers? What box would it fall into right now as far
Right
as?
now, it could be argued that in the light industrial district, it allows for warehousing and manufacturing. And technically speaking, some data centers could be seen as they're manufacturing electric space for the internet, or it's warehousing of the equipment. So therefore, that's why we want to specify it as a specific use.
Anything else? Mr. Hunt? Other questions? Any questions from anyone online? AI, perhaps? No. All right, sir. Is there a motion? Mr. Favazza?
I move to recommend the approval of the text amendments to various sections of Chapter 400 relating to the regulation of data centers as presented to this evening's meeting.
The motion by Mr. Favazza. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sharing. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Favazza.
Yes.
Paul Moran, yes. Jack Shelton.
Yes.
Sherry Bilderbeck.
Yes.
Jeff Moore.
Yes.
Brian Nolan.
Yes.
Jeff Hunt.
Yes.
Lisa Shearing.
Yes.
Matt Foreman.
Yes.
Unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Our next item of business is case 26001, a text amendment for marijuana cultivation and manufacturing conditional uses in the LID district and various sections regarding the regulation of marijuana facilities. Ms. Kelly, staff report, please.
Yes. So this text amendment came based upon complaints regarding the cultivation and manufacturing facility in Rock Hill due to the smell. Currently, these facilities are listed as a permitted use in the light industrial district. So we are proposing to change that to a conditional use. And then where we have the testing of facility and Dispensaries, we're revising all of that language to be compliant with the state law that allowed for recreational. So all of those will now be referred to as medical marijuana, comprehensive marijuana, or micro businesses dispensary facilities. And those are not changing. They're conditional in various districts and permitted in the light industrial, so. And then it includes new definitions for comprehensive marijuana facility and cultivation facilities, yeah.
Applaud the city on making sure we're learning from the perhaps missteps of others. So, any questions from members of the commission? Ms. Bilderback?
I'm really glad because I think it's horrible. I can't stand to drive through Rock Hill because you smell it and it reeks and it makes me nauseous. Like, it's so bad. So I applaud that, like, wholeheartedly. I think that's really important. And my question is, how do we, under what categories of for conditional use permit, like we have the different things that we have to look at, where would we be able to deal with the smell?
That is already under the under the supplemental regulations,
Okay.
which I thought I had addressed in the staff report, so I
I
apologize
might
if
have,
I
I might have missed
not.
it. And I knew you would be able to tell me.
Yeah, it's where they have to address the odor. It could be in, let's see. Supplemental, it's in the draft ordinance on page 6 and 7.
Okay.
Where the supplemental regulations already to have specific requirements for marijuana facilities that include smell, dealing with smell, distance from any school or church, that kind of thing. So it already addresses those kind of issues.
Okay, great.
Signage, operation plan, yeah.
I mean, it had been a long time since I remember looking at this, you know, like, and now we're editing it, so I didn't remember all the base legislation that was underneath it. This gives us more teeth for that, would you say? Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other?
Yeah,
Mr. Moran.
Just got, I mean, I guess it's totally not in order with the meeting, but if somebody came and said we're going to have we want to open a facility in Brentwood, and by the way, there won't be any smells, don't worry about it, what would we say? What would you say, Whitney?
They'd have to provide how they're going to address that. And then if they do not, if there's issues, we would get into a code enforcement. As a conditional use, the ordinance does allow the Board of Aldermen to repeal a business license if they do not comply with the city's regulations.
Okay, that's a great answer. Thank you very much.
Other questions from members of the commissions? Ms. Bilderback?
That was a really great question, Mr. Moran. And I have a follow-up question. That puts a lot of political pressure on the Board of Aldermen to do that. Is that ever likely to really happen? I mean, do you know what I mean, if they violated it?
I'm not sure speculation at that level is
But my,
something we answer
my
here.
point being, do we leave it up like that, or do we nail it down a little bit more as part of our job on the Planning Commission to support the Board of Aldermen in their work? That's what I'm getting at.
Maybe our attorney can address that?
Does that make sense? You know where I'm going? Like, I don't want to just punt stuff to the Board of Aldermen because they're busy.
Yeah,
like,
so that
and
would
under a
be,
lot
that
of-
would be the second step. So the first step would be to address air filters and other odor control mechanisms at the CUP stage. And so you would look, they would have to bring to you proof. And what we might want to do is, if they were to bring us a facility such as this, we would bring in maybe an outside expert who could look at it and who would be able to address their filtering systems and that kind of thing to make sure that the smell did not leave the property.
So similar to when they come through for the CUP to get that, then we can require these things be done just like we require the lighting plan and the landscaping plan and all that as a normal course of our operations. But in this case, it would, or a sound plan, but in this case, it would be a smell plan.
Exactly.
And it would, perfect, okay,
Yeah,
great.
and they would have to show how those filtering mechanisms would actually work and if they've been used in other sites and how they've worked there. And then, let's say that we went through all of this and you had all these conditions on the CUP that they have to maintain them. And if the smell does permeate beyond the property boundaries, then they have to install other mechanisms perhaps. And if they fail to do all of that, then the next step would be that there is a revocation process for the CUP.
Okay, so there would be like layers that we could go through of what we have in the CUP process. So we're not just automatically punting.
And in
like,
fact, before you even get to revocation, let's say that they've gotten their CUP and they have all these conditions, you could actually bring them back in for additional conditions in order to mitigate these adverse effects that you're seeing before you even get to the revocation stage.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, I think our neighbors to the west are in that because they have an airlock and filters that are apparently not functioning. And I believe that there has been some requests from the city of Rock Hill for that mitigation. I will say, my day job, we teach some of this because we teach a lot of things, and had to go through an airlock and these special filters as well. And to the point of calling in a specialist, there are engineers who specialize in this, which is amazing to me. And that is who we engage for that
So
purpose.
it's strong enough recourse that if, like in that situation, like if the stuff breaks, it's not working, that we have recourse without just going to the Board of Aldermen and have the citizenry try to have them revoke a license. Okay. Thank you.
So, just so you know, under subsection 10 of the 10 operation plan, under the supplemental regulation for marijuana facilities, number B, odor control. The facility shall provide a plan for the mitigation and control of odors and other environmental impacts which may emanate from the facility. Such plan shall describe the ventilation system for the premise, appropriate ventilation systems to prevent any odor of marijuana fumes from leaving the premises of a facility, or other changes to a facility may be required to abate the public nuisance.
That's part of getting a business license. Is that part of the
No,
CUP
that's part of the
process?
CUP process.
Okay, I read the lead in to 10 there, and it says as a condition of processing a business license. Assume that A and B both.
Well, we would look at, we look at all of these as part of the CUP, and then they would also have to provide that information for the building permit as part of the business license. Building permit for any building.
So, as we've seen recently with a number of different things in front of this board, the noise that we just talked about down in Henley Industrial and other ones, those are easier to tie back to, you can, excuse me, you can get a phone app that'll measure decibels. You can get a phone app that'll measure light levels, lux. For the wording that is in here is no odor, which isn't very quantifiable. Do we need to tie this to an ASHRAE standard or other engineering standard of parts per million, et cetera, so we can actually benchmark what no odor means?
I think that's
He's nodding because he knows
that's a
what
good
ASHRAE
question.
is.
Yeah, I do, and that's a good question, Mr. Foreman. I think that yes, no odor is. Are you talking about if there's a generator there and it produces diesel exhaust? That's an odor. And it's an odor that's not particularly pleasant, but if there's a generator and we've authorized a generator, it's an odor that we're expecting. So I think,
And having dealt with air re-entrainment, other clean rooms, hospital environments, et cetera, we tie everything back to American Society of Heating and Ventilating Engineering. ASHRAE has a lot of standards about those kind of things. They're the ones that actually control the standards for the filtering packs that our friends in our neighboring city are having issues with.
I think that would be a good addition if it's something that's attainable. Anything else, Mr. Foreman? Sorry, I think that's a good addition. Perhaps when a motion is made, it might be added.
I was just wondering if you don't mind, if that doesn't come under the providing a plan for the mitigation and control of odors, so that's something we could handle at the time of application rather than trying to get really too specific with micro units of whatever you measure smell in.
Good point.
So that could be similar to what we do with the civil engineering with stormwater in residential. They have to fund the study. maybe it's a similar issue where they have to provide an engineering study based on ASHRAE and industry standards stating that that system meets.
I recall it's similar to what we just discussed with the sound, where they had a temporary in place, they were at a certain decibel level, and our request has, once this is fully in place, let's make sure it actually worked and report that back out to the city.
Right. But to Ms. Bilderbeck's point, if we can quantify it and control it, it doesn't just get kicked to the Board of Aldermen.
And that could be handled then through the CUP process.
Right, and that would be a condition then on the CUP. Yep.
Discussion. I appreciate it. Any other questions or comments? Great, I appreciate that. Is there a motion? Ms. Bilderbeck.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of this text amendment to the Board of Aldermen.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by, was it Mr. Moran? Sorry.
Yep.
Roll call vote, please.
Mark Avaza,
Yes.
Paul Moran, yes. Jack Shelton,
Yes.
Sherry Bilderbeck,
Yes.
Jeff Moore,
Yes.
Brian Nolan,
Yes.
Jeff Hunt,
Yes.
Lisa Sherring,
Yes.
Matt Foreman.
Yes.
Unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Seeing no alderman, I assume no aldermanic report. Director's report, please, Ms. Kelly.
We have 2 applications for the next meeting, and then the continuation of the townhomes. That meeting is April 8th. So mark your calendars. Let us know if you're not going to be here or not.
Which I failed to do. Please, as a typical or a usual reminder, please get your RSVPs in. I was a violator of that, so please attempt to do that so we are sure we have quorum. It's great to see everyone here this evening. Good turnout. With that, our business is concluded and we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.